All right, while we're waiting on the short block to get back, I'm just going to keep on keeping on. One thing's for sure, eventually when we do get the engine fired up, whenever that is, got to have exhaust on it. The exhaust is over there. It's side pipe exhaust. I'm not going to crank it up with open headers to break in the cam. That's not going to happen. We're going to be kind to the neighbors. So I am going to connect up the big pipes to muffle it. And knowing that, we've got to expose the frame rail and see what lies underneath. Are we going to have pre-drilled holes on a 78 frame for side pipes? I doubt it. So we're probably going to be drilling holes in the frame. Let's see what lies beneath our little decorative trim here. And the screw just spins and spins. Interesting. Have you ever taken the trim off of a Corvette before? No, I've never done it. So let me get my little light. I can't see. All right, so, okay. Man, that, you got to be kidding me. So there's a nut back there. All right, I was kind of thinking it'd be like, a nut that was kind of welded to the back. Never mind, what I was thinking is incorrect. All right, so we got a 3/8 inch nut back there. There we go. Easy peasy. And let's see, now that one has a little push pin style, push nut style spring-loaded doohickey, which I would have expected. All right, let me get these other three off of here. They're in the center. Can't really film that, but it's not really that exciting anyway, so I'll be right back. Careful. For some reason, I was thinking this was maybe a plastic piece. I don't know why I was thinking that, but clearly it's not. I'm not sure what this made out of. It's either aluminum or steel. It's probably steel. Let's see, magnet. Nope, that's aluminum. Okay, that's cool. All right, yeah. Well, no wonder, it's not rusted. Of course, it's got 40-something years of pits and scratches and whatnot. And this little chrome strip across this top still looks quite nice. I think maybe just a little polish on that, and then a very light scuffing here with a little bit of satin black on this will make it look really nice. So I think that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to do a little cleanup on this piece here, and that's kind of what we're looking at. I cleaned this end with Super Clean just to see what it looked like. And it's got scratches and pits and all that kind of stuff. And I polished up a little section of the bright work there. And down here, still got some of the bright work. I guess it's a factory coating of some sort, anodized or whatever. You can still see it right there. All that's going to go away. So, getting something re-anodized is just stupid money. So we're not doing that. We're just going to polish it. It's never going to see much daylight anyway. It's just going to be taken out on fun trips and whatnot. And if it was going to be daily driven, you'd probably want to have it anodized, but we're not doing that. So I'm going to do a little experimenting here, see what this bright work looks like with after a little wean oil treatment. I wanted to see if I could get this last bit of coating off of here with the wean oil. I'm running out of wean oil. I've been using that same tube for years. I may have to use a little wet dry sandpaper or something. All right, so the wean oil does not take the last bit of coating off. Well, I'd have to do it for a long time. It does polish the aluminum quite nicely though. It's kind of scratched up. I'd like to see these in a little better condition. Having said all that, I think it's time to break out the sandpaper. Got a little 320 wet dry, and I'm just going to see what this does. Probably have to go get some more sandpaper. I'm out of the, you know, pretty much everything. You know, you want to start off with a heavy and then work your way up to a fine and whatnot. Yeah, I'm going to need some progressively, I mean, it's fine. That's a very interesting looking, it must have taken a hit. That must be a rock hit or something. It looks very, very three-dimensional, that spot does. We may just leave that alone. You just got to pick your battles, you know. Let's see what this does. Yeah, there we go. That takes that coating just right off of there. Left with minor scratches. And I'm probably going to need finer sandpaper. Actually, that did pretty good. That's interesting. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, he says after not wanting to try very hard. It just needs to look great from, say, 10 feet away, because it's just going to end up in the same situation. You go on a 1,000-mile trip or something, it's just going to get rock pitted again, so, you know. But I'd like to make it look pretty for a little while anyway. All right, so basically I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to take that last of that factory coating off right there and maybe clean up a few deep imperfections here and there with this 320 and either use the Wenol, or I've got some 3M rubbing compound. That may work actually better. I'll try that as well. And I'll see what I can do with this clear piece. And then once I'm done with this and once I'm done with this shiny bit, I'm going to come back and address the black part. I'm going to go ahead and just do a light sanding with the 320 and get it nice and smooth. And then we're just going to shoot it with some, I think what I'm going to use is probably this. VHT Engine Enamel Gloss Black. Why? Because it will have a nice hot exhaust pipe nearby. And I figured that would be the ticket to use. So we're just gonna go that route and see how it works. So, all right, let me get to work on this piece. All right, I'm gonna try some of this 3M on here and see what that does. Not too shabby. Way better than it was, I guarantee you that. You got to pick your battles here. We don't want to get off into the weeds. You know, we're trying to get the engine done, so all I'm doing is burning time until I get the motor back. So that was 3M. What would happen if I finished it up with the Wenol? Actually, it's about the same. I suspect the Wenol and the 3M are probably on the same level as far as abrasive capability. All right, so that's as far as I'm going to take it. If I really wanted to make this thing pop, I would do it like I've done other things. I'd probably start off with a 220 grit. I would come along here and just take out all the deep gouges, and then you'd left with a big scratchy haze, and then you'd move up to 320, and then you'd move up to 400, then 600, then 800, then 1,000, and so on and so forth. And then you get the 3M polishing or the Wenol out, and you would polish it to a fine, to a fine polish, and it would look beautiful after that. But guess who's not going to do all that for this episode in my life? If I really want to do a exterior cosmetic improvement on this car, I believe I would save that for when I decide to paint the vehicle. I think that would be the time to do this. But for now, I just want to make them a little prettier. And then one day when I decide to paint the car, then I'll really go hog wild on this. But for now, a little polish is good enough. I think you could probably see in the camera that it looks pretty good. And I'm gonna go ahead and scuff this up here and get this ready to shoot with some black. All right, we're back to the mobile paint booth. Let's see what happens down here. Let's give it a quick shot. See how well it's gonna lay down. A little windy out today. I think it's going to be all right though. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. Get ourselves a little dust coat here. Need to get the top of that ridge down. There's a ridge down in there. All right, let me finish this coat. I'll be right back. All right, so that's what we got. We got a little slotted hole there, one in the middle, another round one over there, and then a slotted hole at the end. I'm going to assume that none of those actually line up with anything that we need for these side pipes. Initial indication is that the body isn't rusted. It's a little joke, folks. Relax. Let's see. Hey, look at that. That's a rivet right there. Interesting. Guys that have been in here and restored Corvettes from the frame off would know all this stuff, but I haven't. I've simply owned one for a really long time. The frame looks good. There's only very minor little. I'm just going to shoot that with some black before we put the pipes on, and it'll be fine. I'm not going to worry too much about it. So, all right. Well, right now, let me take some measurements and see what we can see. Now, these two holes here, there's an elongated hole here and one in the middle, and if I was to measure center to center, those are 20 inches apart and they're about yay wide, so you got some play there. So the brackets on the pipe are 19 and a half roughly, and the bracket on the end is about right there. That would put the end of the pipe real close to the wheel. I don't know how close it's supposed to be to the wheel, but anyway, regardless, let's get a pipe and put it up there. Let's do that. Careful. Man, I tell you what, having a lift is the way to go. Just set it right up there. Oh man, that is so cool. The lift arms are like almost nearly where they need to be. How cool is that? Those black pipes on this silver, this dark gray and silver car are gonna look good, especially after I put some stainless steel covers on them. That's actually some blasting media from the Birmingham soda place. Okay, let's see what we have here. So we got to come over about 1.5 inches, something like that. And I don't want to come over too far because I'll fall off my other ledge over here. Let's see. Whew. Careful now. All right, that's close enough. I got a lot of leeway over here in the middle part. Push it down a little further. So, just from an initial glance, I would say these two rear holes here are going to work out really well. Cross your fingers there. We'll probably have to manipulate a few things, maybe bend the brackets, I've got to get the mounting kit bolts and the rubber isolators. I've got to get the stainless steel covers and all that kind of jazz. But for right now, I've got two holes that line up. Uh-oh. Problem number one spotted. Yeah. There's no access up in there. So I may end up having to drill a couple of holes in the bottom of the frame, maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 inch or something, or big enough to be able to do some manipulation of the fasteners and get the nut on the back side, but you guys get it. So anyway, but for right now, those are minor issues that we'll figure out along the way. But yeah, man, that's gonna look so cool. I'm glad I went with black. So Dr. Eyeball loves black as well, and so that'll make him happy. All right, so let's go over here and see how well we did on the trim piece here. Man, I love this 3M blue painter's tape. Well, there you go. What do you guys think? You can still see the pits and stuff, you know, from where the road debris and the rocks and stuff hit it. And that's fine. It doesn't matter. Because guess what? We're going to have a great big honking exhaust pipe covering up most of this, and you'll never see it, so it just won't matter. But the parts that you will see look quite nice, including the polished aluminum part right up here. So I'm quite pleased with that. All right, so I'm going to set this over in the corner, and I'll just do the other one off camera, and let's move on. All right, folks, I think that's going to be all for this weekend's restoration vlog. Again, we're still waiting on the short block to get back from the machine shop. We knew it would take a while, but, you know, that's just the way it is. So in the meantime, I'm going to get as much stuff as I can get done on this old Corvette before we start building an engine. So that is the whole purpose of the last few vlog videos that you've seen so far. So if you bear with me over the next few weeks, things are going to be getting a lot more intense. So stay tuned. I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video, don't forget to click that little bell down below. You know where it is. You guys have a good one, and remember to enjoy restoring your classic C3 Corvette.